All right, with that down, let's move on to this. So I don't hate the Eternals as much as other people
I don't
do.
either.
Okay, amazing.
I really, actually, to be fair, I really like
not
the
a hater of
Eternals.
the movie.
Wonderful. Oh, this makes me so happy, guys, because I feel like that movie just unfortunately got teed up right after, we had Endgame and everything, and everyone just had wild expectations, and they weren't ready for new teammates.
I liked it for how different it was.
I thought it was really interesting and asked some really cool moral ambiguity questions.
Like, John and I talk about how we both love Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
I love Man of Steel more as a science fiction first contact movie than I do as a Superman movie. And I kind of feel the same way about Eternals. I like Eternals more as a science fiction film, but I don't think it's a great MCU movie.
Yeah, well, I feel like part of the issue was we got the turn too quickly. We need to fall in love with these characters a little bit more, and then maybe in a movie 2, in a sequel, get a, oh my gosh, this is actually happening?
Yeah.
Mind blown. But that being said, I think Chloe Zhao did an incredible job with it and everything.
Yeah.
And a tremendous director in her own right, of course. Obviously, Nomad is so good and everything. She's an Academy caliber director. She is wonderful. And she's going to be joining up with an incredibly popular franchise.
That she loves.
There's going to be a Buffy the Vampire reboot with her at the helm. This is wild to me, but it's such fun pairings. This comes to the folks over at Deadline. So after the 7-season run of Buffy, it's going to get a new chapter in the franchise. This is a follow-up series nearing a pilot order from Hulu with Sarah Michelle Gellar expected to start, reprising her signature role as Buffy Summers. She's also the executive producer on this. Oscar winner Chloe Zhao, a self-professed lifelong Buffy fan, is set to direct the pilot, written by Nora and Lilia Zuckerman, who did Poker Face, which is another tremendous fun show.
Yep.
The reboot hails from Buffy the Vampire Slayer Studio 20th Television and Disney sibling Searchlight TV, where Zhao has been under a first look deal. Now, the Deadline article goes on to say, too, that they haven't started their writer's room yet. They're still in the process of getting all of their writers on board. So this is super early days for this news. We also know that at this time, Whedon is not involved in this.
I would imagine he's not even near.
I'm sure they're not going to he's not going to be near this with a 10-foot pole after all those allegations.
But I bet
everything.
the guy's got to get paid because he created the whole concept.
But her as
as
the producer,
But-
I
I think they're going to take a big step back away from him.
Yeah.
But fans have been lobbying for this for years. We've had comics and everything, too. We've had so many spin-off things like that.
Yeah, Joss Whedon did write continuation comics.
But now we're finally getting this back on the screen. How are you guys feeling about the reboot? Is this something you're excited about? Or does this feel like an unearned reboot that's kind of tinging on nostalgia?
Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, PrizePicks. All right, guys, the biggest football game of the year is almost here. And if you're like me, you're looking for a way to make it even more exciting. And that's why I use PrizePicks, the best place to get daily fantasy action. With over 10 million members, it's the easiest and most fun way to play. Here's how it works. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players' projections, and then boom, you're in. You think Patrick Mahomes will go for more than 250 passing yards? What about Travis Kelce rushing for more than 1.5 touchdowns? Pick your lineup in under 60 seconds, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Ann and I have both been playing PrizePicks all season. Let me tell you, it has been a lot of fun. This week, I'm rolling with Saquon Barkley rushing for more than 100 yards and at least 1 touchdown. The best part, even if one of my picks isn't perfect, PrizePicks Flex Play still lets me win. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. So download the app today and use the code CAMPEA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. Run your game.
What say you, Rob?
Well, look, anything can be good. Every franchise IP revival is just one great script away from being awesome. And Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I've often said on my own YouTube channel that I think that Joss Whedon and his writing staff, and they've brought back a few of the actual executive producers of the original Buffy are working on this show. So, like Marty Noxon and Frank Kazooie, who directed the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie with Christy Swanson.
Love that movie.
Look, half the writers in Hollywood are all writing Buffy anyway. Star Trek, Strange New Worlds is basically being written like Buffy. It is probably the writing, Joss Whedon and his team of writers on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel are probably the single most influential that type of writing has influenced all the people writing genre television today, to the point where it makes me want to punch a lot of people in the face. It's like, I know that I get it. You all love Buffy. The fact that they're bringing Buffy back, and Sarah Michelle Gellar is going to play like an elder statesman role to a new Slayer. To me, again, it comes down to writing. It can be great. But I've also seen things like the X-Files revival that I was really hoping was terrible.
Yeah.
And they had all the original people involved. And I'm like, how do you F that up? So I think the potential for disaster is enormous with this. However, that said, if we get the Breaking Bad version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then, or this is the Better Call Saul to Buffy's Breaking Bad, maybe it could be great. And I'm not saying, to me, I'm intrigued, but also there is a bit of, once again, Hollywood creatively bankrupt, going back and getting a show that already jumped 2 networks once before. It went to UPN.
Yes.
And it's, look, I love Buffy. I loved Buffy. And I would love to see all the actors bring back everybody. Bring back David Boreanaz, bring back Chris Carpenter, bring back
Allison Monaghan, or
Alice, and bring back Spike.
right? Yeah.
Why am I drawing a blank on Spike's name? I love Spike. Just bring back everybody.
James
Why
Marsden?
not? Just have fun with it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing though is that it's not fully greenlit. They're working on the pilot.
Yeah.
So this is like the old days where you get a pilot, and if it goes to pilot and it's success, then it gets expanded. So at least we know if it's terrible, it's not getting past the 1 episode.
That's true.
Yeah, but I think that this is going to get, a series order.
I would think so.
I and these writers, I love Poker Face.
Poker
And
Face is
I
great.
think the people involved in this would do something interesting. You can't recreate Buffy. It's a different time. But do Hellmouths move? Do you have to go back to what's the house?
Are we currently
Did they
in one? Who's
rebuild?
to say?
Did they rebuild it over the same? Who knows?
Well, I love that you brought up Bring Back Everyone, because I also think, in light of all the allegations and everything that came up, I think you do need to bring Charisma Carpenter back if she's willing to find a way to get that character the justice that it deserved, as opposed to what happened with her on the series. Because it's all supernatural. It's like the MCU, right? No one's ever dead. You can always come back to this. Or
And
figure out
Allison
a
Hannigan,
spiritual
right? She's
successor.
got to come back. You got to bring Willow back.
You have to bring Willow back.
And Brendan.
Justice for Tara, too. Oh, my God.
Everybody.
Yeah. Justice for everyone.
Why not?
Yeah.
They could be ghosts. Look, if they
do
can make a
anything.
new Beetlejuice movie, come on.
They can do this.
They can do this.
Jonathan, were you a Buffy fan?
Oddly enough, you know what? I did follow it for a while in
Yeah.
the 90s. I didn't follow it through all 5 seasons, but I feel like in my mind it was earlier 90s, not 97, because I was a senior, and I feel like when I was watching it, I was like, in my mind, I was like in 8th grade or 9th grade, but apparently I was a senior.
Yeah.
But I watched it for about 3 years, and then once I kind of like got to like 2000, I just stopped watching it. Like there was other things that I was watching Monty Python and stuff like that.
That makes
but
sense, yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I think this could be really fun, and I'm actually excited for younger audiences to kind of get into this.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel safer in the writers that, like Rob was mentioning and you mentioned, from what is it, Russian Doll. At least I feel like it's in safer hands than it's just going to be schlock. You know what I mean?
For sure. I think it should be really smart. It should be
By the
really
way,
clever stuff.
and maybe somebody will go back and remaster Buffy properly. It is one of the worst physical media releases ever, and what they put in syndication is garbage. They've got to go back and retransfer. Do it right this time, people. That show was done dirty when they put it on physical media and remastered in HD.
That's how I discovered it too, because
really?
I knew that there was a musical version. Because '97, I was little,
I forget.
and so
I forget.
yeah,
There's a big
there's
gap.
a little gap. But I was a little for Buffy when it first was coming out, and then there was a musical episode. And because, as you all can tell from the Everything About Me, I was a musical theater kid, and my friends were like, "You have to catch up on Buffy and know what this show is about." Loved it. Everything I knew about it before was just, they rotoscoped the Dancing at the Bronze for the X-Men Evolution cartoon series. Like, that was my only connection to the show for the longest time.
Where do we go from here? The battle's done and we kind of won, so we'll shed our victory tear. Tell me, where do we go from here?
So good.
Once More with Feeling is the greatest musical
So
episode of a
wonderful.
TV show.
Oh,
And you know what? Again, the writers of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Buffy fans, they had to do their own musical episode, which wasn't good.
Oh, bummer.
I don't care. Everyone else, Star Trek fans love it, except me.
Well, guys, are you excited about this Buffy reboot? Is it something you're looking forward to? Is it something you're skeptical of? Did they get the mustard out? Let us know in the comments below. It's just for Rob. All right.